program at Columbia University as an advanced writing lit program, which was completely unreal and super amazing to be around professors in such an amazing university and around poets and writers who were so serious and just were as in love with words as I was. It was super nerdy, but it was kind of like, oh my gosh, it was kind of like we had an amazing opportunity to talk to the speechwriters earlier, like speechwriters for the White House, and they asked us similar question in terms of how did you start writing, and I was like, the first time that I was around other people who were writers, and I was like, you're a writer and I'm really similar to you, so I guess that makes me a writer too, and that's where I wrote that poem at Columbia. So yeah, I hadn't really started to write until freshman year though.
Now, you talked about, how poetry, or it was said how poetry has the ability to communicate in ways that other art forms don't. What does it mean to you as a student poet to be here representing that art form and representing the arts in general in a place where, big decisions are made about, we're going to spend money on this?
Yeah.
And music and the arts tend to be the things that are cut in favor of science and technology and mathematics.
It is. I think it's incredible, and I think it's a really amazing opportunity because of the fact that there's been a long history of people like me and people who look like me aren't really as involved in the decision making that happens in a national scale, and so it is super incredible to have the nation and the government funding young people from all over the place. We all have such different backgrounds, and we all come from such different heritages and cities and just wildly different places, and so it's super incredible to have the government and the nation who sometimes it's easy to doubt that doesn't have my back or doesn't have the people's back, but they in this case they do, and it's really amazing just to have Mrs. Obama there very genuinely invested in us and spending time with us, and I don't know, it's incredible, and I feel so lucky, and just so thankful for National Student Poet program and all the sponsors, and just super happy and lucky to be here.
Now, you talked about doing a service project as part of being a student poet. What's your project going to be, and what do you hope to achieve with it?
I'm not quite sure yet. My dream would be to work with young girls of color, specifically Black girls, to empower their voices and feel their voices are important and heard through the lens of poetry, because that's how what poetry has been for me in terms of my experience as a young Black woman and being in this world. It feels my voice is heard and listened to, and we're at the White House, so for me I'm lucky enough that my voice is being heard and listened to, and I want to give that same chance to young girls and really make them feel they can do something and they're powerful and they're important and what they have to say is important, and so hopefully I'll be able to work with that age range. There are a lot of amazing programs in Chicago that I feel I'm going to tap into, but that is part of the process.
Now, when Mrs. Obama was giving everybody a hug at the end, did she say anything to you?
She just said, congratulations, very proud of you. Yeah.
That's got to be surreal, though. I'm standing under a portrait of Abraham Lincoln getting a hug from the First Lady because I wrote something down on a piece of paper.
It's unbelievable, and she is such a role model of me in so many aspects of my life, and I'm sitting next to her, and just it makes me feel so happy, and it makes me feel really hopeful in terms of all the time you're told that writers don't make any money or aren't successful, but it's people are here investing in the work that I'm doing and in my words, and I feel that's so important, and I'm so happy to be a part of the piece of this program to continue the raising up importance of written work, because you can be a poet and you can change things, and that needs to be known, and so having this opportunity and having Mrs. Obama support that, and all of the President's Committee on the Arts Humanities, the Institute of Library and Museum Services, as well as the Alliance of Young Artists and Writers, all of our sponsors, just really investing in us and having hope in us. That just is such an encouraging and helpful thing for me as well.
Great. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful afternoon.
You too. Right. First of all, what's your name?
My name's Joey Riceberg.
And Joey, you're from